Now at 6, severe weather makes its way back to the 4 states. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty has the latest on what to expect. Plus, conversations and public input pushes progress on the future of US 69. And students at a Joplin Elementary School celebrate Teacher of the Year.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Spring is wasting no time in bringing severe weather back to the 4 states. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Tanya Bach. Let's head straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty with the latest on this Weather Alert Day.
Yeah, if we do get severe weather tonight, this will already be our 4th event of the spring season. We do have a level 2 out of 5 threat in southwestern Missouri in the yellow. Once you get into the orange, a little higher threat, level 3 out of 5 threat. So we have a risk for severe weather really kind of starting 8 p.m. and then lasting until about midnight. With that, we are going to have a tornado threat, but these storms are going to be very scattered. So it's not like a wall of rain that everybody's going to get showers and thunderstorms. Already, we do have a tornado watch out. This does include Montgomery County down toward Nowata, Washington, Chautauqua, and Elk County. You know, see our first storm that got right through the cap, so just north of Oklahoma City, and we'll see if a cluster can develop and head in. If it can, we're going to have that tornado threat from about 8 p.m. until midnight. Another severe threat late tonight. So we'll break it all down for you here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. And we've got the perfect way for you to stay ahead of severe weather season with a simple click. Just scan this QR code with your phone and head straight to the weather resources page of our website, where you can find information on storm shelters, weather updates, closings, road conditions, and so much more. The weather resource page on KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, an 18-year-old driver suffered serious injuries after crashing into a guardrail yesterday morning. Baxter Springs Fire and Galena Fire were alerted Monday morning to a vehicle crash south of the Rainbow Bridge, where a car was impaled by a guardrail. The guardrail had gone through the front windshield and out the back. Authorities tell us the female driver was transported to a Joplin hospital with serious injuries. Construction plans for the Highway 69 corridor in Crawford County are forming. KDOT held a series of meetings a little over a month ago to get public input on the future of Highway 69. And since then, they've made some progress on plans for the highway. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more.
What necessary improvements that we can make.
Darren Petrowski is the KDOT District Engineer for District 4, Southeast Kansas. And he says he wants to improve Highway 69 to make it the best it can be for the Crawford County community.
Improvements that we can make to that existing corridor to help facilitate and improve safety, mobility, and provide economic development.
That's why KDOT held a series of meetings a little over a month ago to get public input on the future of Highway 69.
We had a lot of good conversations with folks that attended as they were looking at the options that were provided to them. I believe our engineering group got a lot of positive feedback.
Since those meetings, KDOT has kept the conversation going by accepting feedback to a webpage dedicated to receiving comments about the US 69 corridor study. KDOT has already started some aspects of construction, including the pavement marking project.
We're removing the existing pavement markings and installing new pavement markings on this corridor. The contractor, I believe, is starting this week or so.
The pavement marking project is expected to be completed by May. KDOT also has some intersection projects to boost safety planned for the near future.
Slated to be let within the next 2 months. So we hope the contractor will get started on that this year yet and be completed on that project this year. The other 3 intersections are slated for a letting next year.
KDOT plans to have another public engagement meeting in June to hear input on final concepts. This will close out Phase 2 of the corridor study. And a public comment Petrowski says he heard at prior meetings is the public wants to maintain the existing US 69 corridor.
Existing US corridor, 69 corridor, and we're not interested in pursuing what the locals are referring to as the Western Bypass.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Well, the webpage to collect comments was open until March 12th, and KDOT will also have an open house meeting in the fall to decide which projects to move towards construction with. Well, Girard Events kicked off its monthly Food Truck Tuesday today at Veterans Park. This month's featured vendor, Ghetto Tacos, served up authentic Mexican street tacos and sides from 11 to just a few minutes ago.
Awesome, man, because I thought, there's so many food trucks, and so we were one of them, but it feels special to be the first one to be here and open up for their season, and so I know it's new for them, so we're so humbled to be here and excited to be here for a Taco Tuesday and their first event.
Organizers say the event brings the community together while supporting local food trucks. Well, Friends of the Joplin Library open a brand new chapter on their annual Spring for a Book fundraiser. All donations from the fundraiser go toward purchasing new books to add to the library's circulation.
People donate, $25 or more, and then library staff select the books that go on the shelf. So they're not actually selecting a specific book, but their money is providing more books for library users.
The fundraiser will focus on adding more books to the Lucky Day collection, a selection of popular books that are in high demand. Well, a teacher at Cecil Floyd Elementary in Joplin got a surprise from staff and students alike today. Shannon Cooper was just named Joplin School's Teacher of the Year.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm so happy, excited. I'm so proud to get to represent Joplin Schools. Shocked because they're very sneaky at keeping this a secret. Apparently my family and all the teachers, and it's just a big blessing, big honor for me today.
Cooper has been teaching for 31 years. 2 of those were as a transitional kindergarten teacher at Cecil Floyd Elementary. Fort Scott High School softball has great expectations after a red-hot start to the season. John Dales has a preview of the Tigers' chances coming up in sports. But up first, the latest on the measles outbreak.
I have an update regarding the measles. I'm Lonnie Walton at the Health Department in Cherokee County. I'll have that story coming up.
There are 10 cases of measles in Oklahoma, 23 in Kansas, and nearly 500 nationwide, keeping the discussion of the disease and your health alive. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke with the Cherokee County Health Department to learn more.
Our house hasn't been sick for quite a while.
Russell Blair is a Cherokee County resident. He says he does what he can to stay healthy.
There are some adults that are just like having a 3-year-old, fingers up their nose, coughing on everything, not covering their face, and you can't really stop from getting sick if you hang out and around all that stuff.
And although there's no cases in the area, one thing that Russell says he does is get vaccinated, and the health department agrees.
If you haven't been vaccinated, it's a good idea to call to see if at your age, if you need to be vaccinated at that time.
I have a 3-year-old. I'm more worried about her being vaccinated.
And Kistler says those little ones need some tender care.
We do recommend that children that are in daycare to make sure that they are up to date on their immunizations.
Measles is highly contagious, so Kistler says if you feel sick,
please stay home, try not to go to work or to go to school at that time.
And she has more advice for your health.
Make sure that you wipe down surfaces because the virus can stay live on surfaces for up to about 2 hours.
And if you happen to catch this disease anyway, a local pharmacist says there's things you can do to help you feel a lot better.
You can take over-the-counter medication for symptom relief. Tylenol is a good option, or ibuprofen to help with the fever and chills.
And for Russell, he'll keep doing what he's been doing.
We have a small group of people we socialize with, and that's about it.
Reporting in Cherokee County, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
If you do catch the measles, Kistler says you could have symptoms for up to 3 weeks. A little later, a new sculpture honoring Joplin's mining past makes its debut in Mercy Park today.
Plus, we're going to discuss the chances for severe weather this evening. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, turned out to be a warmer day for us today. Moisture returning, and that's why we have that severe threat as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Great shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. We are looking downtown Joplin. A lot of overcast clouds for us all day long. It's been windy at times We've had winds gusting 40 to about 45. All right, tornado watch out southern Kansas down through Oklahoma. It does include Montgomery County, Washington County, Nowata County, and then Chautauqua and Elk County. We've been kind of waiting to see if these storms can get going and get through that cap, that warm air up in the atmosphere 10, 11, 12,000 feet. And finally, we are getting a couple little guys which are starting to pop just to the north of Oklahoma City. You can see this little cluster getting going. Most likely what is going to happen now that these have gotten through this and sustained and actually gotten stronger, we're going to see additional ones that kind of bust through the cap north of this, just south of Wichita, and then down toward Oklahoma City as well. We want to watch this cluster because if these can hold together, these will work right on in to southeastern Kansas after 8 p.m. for us tonight. They're still about 2 hours away, and they're just now strengthening. So a lot we want to watch as we go through the next couple hours. Look at our dry line. You can see this little squiggle all the way down through Oklahoma. So these storms are kind of firing ahead of the dry line. Then eventually behind it, a cold front's going to work through late tonight into tomorrow morning, firing off additional showers and thunderstorms. So this is that storm right there, showing it possibly getting right into southeastern Kansas, pushing into southwestern Missouri. So we want to watch that because we do have that wind, hail, tornado threat until about midnight. Once we get midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, those storms are gone. But then the cold front will start to advance in. Here's 5 a.m. and we're going to have to see what can develop along the front. Some indications, not much. Other indications, severe storms once again. So we have to reintroduce a severe threat from 4 a.m. until about 8 a.m. on Wednesday. All right, very windy out there, sustained winds 15, 20, 25. We've had those gusts 40 to 45. The gusts stay strong through tonight, then will slowly go down as we go through the daytime hours for us tomorrow. After all these thunderstorms are out of here by tomorrow afternoon, we break out, we see partly sunny skies, mid 70s for highs. Break. And then we get more clouds and better chances for rain. Working in again Thursday morning. Scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms. Nothing strong, nothing severe. Day planner on your Wednesday, 67 to start, 74 by noon. High temp of 76 on your Wednesday. Now we have a lot of rain coming later on this week. It's non-severe, but here comes another storm system on Friday. Showers and a few thunderstorms. Nothing strong, nothing severe. Even another system right behind it as we go into Saturday. So rainfall potential over the next 4 days, quite a bit. A lot of areas, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 inches of rain. All right, let's go 76 Wednesday, severe threat till about 8 a.m. tomorrow. 59 Thursday, 62 Friday. Cooler for the weekend, 50s with rain chances.
All right, well, cool down for the weekend. It's a little bit of everything there.
A little bit of everything.
And we'll be watching things.
Of course.
All right, thanks, Doug. We'll still ahead. Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State baseball both play road games, and Fort Scott High School softball tries to remain undefeated. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
Fort Scott High School softball enters 2025 having made the 4A state tournament each of the last 2 seasons. And the Lady Tigers, well, they bring back a lot of familiar faces from those teams, and they're off to a 4-0 start so far this year. Fort Scott High School softball at home for a tournament this afternoon. Their first game is against Ottawa. Top of the 3rd inning, Kendall Aiken in the circle. Lady Tigers up 1-0. And she strikes out the side. She would do the same the following inning as well. We go now to the bottom of the 4th inning. Briley Heimer crushes this pitch to deep right center. That'll roll all the way to the wall, and she hustles into 3rd. She's got a stand-up triple. That would start a rally. Later in that same inning, Fort Scott now in front 5-0. Allie Brown skies one, gets up into the wind, causes all sorts of trouble for the left fielder. That drops in for a hit. Another run scores, and Brown coasts into 2nd with a double. Fort Scott beats Ottawa in the first game of the tournament. Lady Tigers win it 10-2. Second game of the tournament, Fort Scott faces Lewisburg, who's winless so far this season. This one just got started at 6. Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State baseball, both of them are on the road this afternoon. The Gorillas are currently in 4th place in the MIAA. Lions are down in 8th place, which is very unexpected after being nationally ranked in the preseason. Well, today Missouri Southern baseball is in Wichita taking on Newman, who's in last place in the MIAA. These two teams have gone back and forth all game. Southern fell behind 9-4, tied it at 9, then trailed 12-9, and right before we come on the air, Nate Miskowski hits a 3-run homer to tie it at 12 in the top of the 9th. Pittsburgh State baseball is over in Springfield taking on Drury. This one just got started at 5 as we come on the air. Gorillas are in front 3-0 in the 5th inning. A win tonight would be 5 in a row for the Gorillas. That would bring their record up to 23-7 on the year. And moving over to Major League Baseball, both the Royals and the Cardinals play tonight. Kansas City tries to clinch a series victory against the Brewers. Royals are coming off an 11-1 victory yesterday. Tonight's expected starting pitcher is Michael Lorenzen. The right-hander, he's making his first start of the year. You might remember he was re-signed to a 1-year, $7 million deal over the offseason. First pitch in Milwaukee, just about 15 minutes away. Then in St. Louis, the Cardinals, well, they play the second of a 3-game series against the Angels. Last night, these two teams went into extra innings where LA pushed across the game-winning run in the top of the 10th inning. Matthew Liberatore is scheduled to make his first start of the year on the mound for the Redbirds. But back to Missouri Southern baseball. Seems like every time they play Newman, the game is just crazy, because I don't know if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, those two teams played. They combined for 49 runs in just one game.
If I recall, the winds were really, really high that day, which I think
could be again today.
Yeah, definitely. All right, that's it for sports. We're back after. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. How police in one Missouri community are keeping tabs on thieves lurking in tornado debris. Plus, April is Donate Life Month, why doctors say donating a kidney is the best way you can help, and the latest plan to keep TikTok in business. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Well, a new bronze sculpture honoring Joplin's mining history was installed today at Mercy Park called Ground Boss. The sculpture depicts a miner from the Tri-State Mining District and was donated by the Robertson family.
I observed out here at the sculpture garden that there was no miner on exhibit, and I felt like that the Tri-State Mining District of Joplin's part in the early history, we needed to have a miner here in this park.
Following the installation, Henry Robertson spoke about its significance to Joplin's history and his family. Final check of the weather.
Yeah, supercells blowing in north central parts of Oklahoma. They have made it through the cap over the past hour or so, so these have a high likelihood of being severe getting into southeastern Kansas after 8 p.m. So once that 8 p.m. time frame hits, want to start really paying attention.
All right, you know where to keep it.
Yep.
All right, sports.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's named Western Conference Player of the Month. Not much of a surprise. He's averaging 35 points per game in the month of March.
Awesome. Well, thank you for watching. We will see you right back here at 10. Have a great evening and an even better tomorrow.